Welcome to On the Chain.
So we got a bit of good news today.
Oh, let's hear it.
We got a bit of good news. And it's good news in the way that, you know, we talk about the blue team a lot. We talk about the red team a lot when it comes to politics. And the blue team, it's been pretty supportive of most of what's going on until today when J.W. Vera put this out. Democrat Congressman Richie Torres opened an investigation into how Gary Gensler has fundamentally failed as a regulator on FTX. So when the torches come out on the blue team and you're part of the blue team, you're out. And Jeff, did we not call this like a week or two ago saying that the long knives are coming out for Gensler and the Democrats, he's out. He's a liability. He's gone.
So Gensler's going to be the scapegoat or a
right.
scapegoat.
Well, yeah, they definitely need a scapegoat.
Patsy.
Then you know what they're going to do? They're going to promote him to Treasury Secretary.
Probably. So
because
look at this.
anything could be better than Janet Yellen.
No, you're probably right, because these people like Janet Yellen and like who's the head of the Fed right now. But I mean, Jerome Powell. I mean, they are just career people. I mean, they're
nut jobs.
They're taken from one spot and put in another, and then they're put back into a large institution, and then they're put back into a high place of government. I mean, it's
when you
hear
Janet Yellen when she's talking, though, I just want to say, like, diaper change over here. Anybody got a pair of Depends? She's like, I mean, she's like, and then you see that when she makes that weird face, and you go, it's at that moment right there that something's going on when she makes that weird face, you know.
Oh, Skip.
A lot of wealthy leftist blue folk are coming out to slam SBF and FTX. It's interesting that they are.
Of course they're going to slam them. They're part of the whole thing, man.
Well, they got to cover up for the fact that, you know, now they're saying that, what was it? Elon Musk came out and said there was probably about $1 billion that was funneled through FTX.
And it makes sense.
It's like $1 billion.
$1 billion.
$1
is what we see. $1 trillion. It's only what we see.
Well, in the end, I want all of them to see jail time. You know, I really do. And John Deaton tweeted something interesting. You know, the picture of Caroline in Manhattan ordering coffee from the other day. If that's true, everyone assumed that the picture was from that day, and you know, you never fully know. So I will, you know, I'll kind of hold back on my conviction on that. But she reportedly she was having coffee in Manhattan. You know, just totally roaming free. Yeah. John Deaton thinks that she was there. Essentially, you know, cutting a deal, you know, and that she figures and her people figure that SBF is going to try and blame it all on her and others at Alameda, and that he's going to feign total ignorance and, oh, I'm ignorant. I don't know what's going on. I can't even code. I don't know. I can't even add two numbers. I just somehow I got in this position. I didn't know I was CEO, but I didn't know what was going on. I don't know anything about anything. And he just hired the Ghislaine Maxwell lawyer. Did you hear that?
Attorney. Yeah, that's irrelevant. None of that really matters, because at some point it's going to come, when the hammer comes down, it's going to come down pretty hard. And Mr. Dodera, dear Mr. Dodera, I'm writing you respectfully request the Government Accountability Office, the GAP, which is a horrible name for an acronym for a government accountability office, because the gap means there's not much accountability. Conduct an independent review of the SEC's failure to protect the investing public from egregious mismanagement, malfeasance of FTX. Great words in a row. Billions of dollars in losses, about 1 million creditors and customers. Gary Gensler, who we're going to string up by the ears, by the logic of his own public pronouncements, singularly responsible for the regulatory failures surrounding the collapse of FTX and its affiliate FTX US. Chair Gensler has said on countless occasions there's no need for authorizing legislation from Congress. The SEC presently possesses the authority, and it needs to regulate crypto exchanges. Jeff, that's it. He's done, right?
That's it. I think we've reached the end of his
precipice.
Of his reign of chaos. You know, we have a lot of good videos to post there, you know, that are going to come up, you know, in terms of what Gary's saying. But I think what you're reading there, you know, that's coming from Democrat congressperson, representative. And then if you put this in comparative to Kevin McCarthy, accountability is coming. And so the writing is on the wall for all of these different characters that have been out there. The question is if they were the head, or if they're just the pawns, and there's probably a better case to be made that they picked kind of the right stooges to lead the charge. But there he is right there. He's right in that list. Obviously, we know the rest of these guys here, but Gary Gensler, man, they're not liking him.
Well, I mean, it's at least significant that he's catching their interest. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times he was just totally flying under the radar. No one would even really mention him. It was really infuriating.
No, nobody would know. And it's interesting. Would people, if we think back, would people know who Gary Gensler was if it wasn't for the SEC v. Ripple case? I mean, I don't think I would have paid much attention to him, other than the Wall Street Bets guys got pretty pissed off at him too.
Yeah, but for the most part, the SEC is just it's a pretty boring arm of the U.S. government. You know what I mean? That most people don't really understand or would pay attention to. This the Ripple case really brought it to light for a lot of people. He wouldn't have even paid attention before.
He was chair of the CFTC. Did anybody know or care? Nobody. And
no
that
one
cared. And honestly, that was before his MIT days. So that was when
MIT.
he was MIT. Gary Gerber. So when he went, so the whole MIT thing, it's like he got educated semi on crypto, because before that, when he was at the CFTC, that's the one arm that's supposed to regulate crypto. But of course, Gerber thought there were securities. Look at this right here. Now look at this character right here. You have Gary Gensler on the screen.
One on the right or Gary Gensler? Oh.
See the guy right there? So the Gary Gensler. So here we go. Jeff, he is actually at the SEC. He looks super happy to be in this interview, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Withdrawn.
That's where he normally is, though. He's normally in his basement.
Right. And here he is. And he's about ready to get asked the question about Sam Bankman-Fried. Let's see if she asks him the question. Let's go.
According to your calendar, you met with now former CEO of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, on March 29th of this year. Aside from that, had you met with him any other times? And what was your impression of him when you met with him?
Again, I'm not going to speak to anyone matters. I might, as my predecessors did as well.
Let's hold up that hand. Now, hold on.
I'm not going to speak about the matters. So it's okay. Your predecessors did it as well. Jay Clayton, the moron, also did it. Who cares? Dude, she's asking you a question. You are accountable to the people.
You're accountable to the people, and there was nothing wrong.
You're a public servant, dude.
There was nothing wrong with that question, and there was no reason why he couldn't answer that.
Right. Other than the fact he didn't want to answer it. Like, can you imagine Can you imagine being the head of a company and they ask you a question? Hey, by the way, you met with this fraudster. And he'd be like,
Jazz answered.
He says, "Did you met with this?" And you'd be like, "I'm not going to speak to that matter, as my predecessors did." And it would be like,
JV, talk to the hand. Exactly.
They would come with the long knives, man. They would be like, it would be insane.
They play this game all the time where they act like. Now hold on. You're asking such a ridiculous question. I'm the adult in the room here.
Right, yeah, exactly. That's a stupid
question. Rein this in. You know that I can't speak to any one thing.
Hey, now, here we go.
My calendar public. And
so he doesn't like his calendar being public either.
With market participants. And the basic message that I've had is the same public message as a private message.
Wait, can you guys?
Oh, here we go. He's about to say it.
You know what he's gonna say? I was trying to cut that sooner, but you know what? You know what he's gonna say, right? Come in, talk to us, register. We'll slap you with the Wells notice, which means we'll
log
be
into
you in due time.
investor.gov and we'll teach you about investing. Oh wait, go ahead.
Yeah, let's back this up just a little bit. He has the same public message he's always said. Come in, sign up, talk to us, and then we'll send you a Wells notice. We'll sue the damn pants off you.
As a private message, come into compliance. Your field will not last long outside of public policy norms. I might be technology neutral, but I'm paid not to be public policy neutral. And it's about protecting the investing public.
Oh, is it?
Okay,
that hand signal is not protecting anybody. That's
hammer.
Grab it and hammer them.
How many lies in a row? How many lies in a row are you allowed to say before God just strikes you down? Because I heard about 10 lies in a row right there. I think that might be some kind of record.
Public. The message has also been that we're not going to let the public all the safeguards down in this regard.
This makes no sense.
Right. So some of these platforms have come in and said, we want to continue running a commingled platform. We want to continue doing
that looks perverse.
Trading, hedge fund functions, an exchange function, a custody function. We said, no, you have to separate it out. Some have come in and said, can we have a lighter touch regulation? We've said,
untrue.
No. We said, no, the time-tested protection. And I want to say one other thing. It would not be fair
double hands
to all the market participants that comply today, the stock exchanges, the broker dealers, the asset managers called mutual funds, and even
I'm always talking
pause this. It wouldn't be fair
hedge
to
funds
them.
today.
It wouldn't be fair to them for Gerber and all of his cronies to give any type of clarity that would help these crypto companies, let's say, succeed, that would end up hurting his financial institution buddies. So that's what, in his mind, he's saying wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't be fair. All these people want is some kind of damn guidance. They just want something. Can you give us the rules? Library, it was begging. Ripple is begging. Please tell us how. We're talking to you.
Well, it's
Please.
Congress has to do it. It's not this. That's where everybody gets it wrong. They're like, Gary needs it. No, Gary just needs. There's no clear routes. That's why we have the court ruling on this right now.
Yeah, Congress does have to rule on it, but Congress does have to rule. But presently, these companies are still beholden to the scrutiny of the SEC. So they still have to talk to the SEC. And if they're trying to do the right thing and follow what it is that the SEC is saying, then they're going to, in good faith, go in and talk to them.
No, they shouldn't do that. They just take Jeremy Corbyn said, do not go talk to them no matter what you think, don't talk to them. They talked to them for 4 years. They got sued. They lost. Now they have to shut down the company. Not a good idea.
That's why no right-minded crypto company would do anything in the U.S. right now.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.